Everyone, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Allison Gargaro, and we have a lot going on, not only across the Houston area over the next several days, but really across the entire U.S. We are talking about an Arctic blast that is going to be dipping into the midsection of the U.S. and really continuing out to the east as well. We are talking about bitter cold temperatures across the Midwest as we head into your MLK holiday week. So we know that starts on Monday, but folks up here are going to be seeing that much earlier, and then eventually it's going to be extending all the way down toward us here in Texas. So we talked about bitter cold there, but you can see that chill does extend across most of the state as well. So this is something that you are going to need to prepare for. It is Wednesday, and we're already looking ahead to next Monday. So you have several days to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row and that you and your family are taking the proper precautions, not only for yourselves, but also for your homes. So let's get you right on into our headlines. I talked about that major pattern change. Well, temperatures are actually going to go up before they go down. And before we head into MLK Day, we're actually monitoring the potential for a possible freeze early Saturday morning. Temperatures are going to be very, very cold, but the coldest air so far this season is going to be felt by the start of next week. So that's going to be that Arctic blast. But I think a lot of folks are probably saying, okay, cold temperatures, I remember when. So let's actually go back to some of the dates. Actually, a few Christmases ago, December of 2022, on actually the 23rd of the month, we had a low, yes, of 15 degrees and a high of only 32. And then Christmas Eve, if you remember that, a low of 22 degrees. So it was very, very cold back in December of 22. But let's talk about that freeze of February of 21. Yes, everybody remembers that. February 15th, we had a low of just 16 degrees and highs didn't warm up much. We were right around 25 degrees. And then the next day, we're talking February 16th, we had a low of just 13. So it was very, very cold. And we want to let everybody know that it's not necessarily going to be that cold, but still we're going to be seeing near record cold lows and then record cold highs, meaning some of the coldest high temperatures that we have felt on the dates of this upcoming Monday, as well as the upcoming Tuesday. So let's talk about where this is all coming from. It's starting basically up in the Arctic Circle. We have that polar plunge that is already bringing temperatures 40 below. We have 18 degrees below zero, as well as even in the single digits up in Fairbanks. And you can see that is extending across Canada. And eventually that's going to be arriving right here in the United States. But speaking of, let's talk about what we are seeing right now, big picture. We have that big area of low pressure, which did bring those severe storms early this week to Houston and across the southeast and moving up into the northeast. But right now we are seeing more snow out in the Rockies and even up in the Pacific Northwest. And we are going to be monitoring a dip in the jet stream. That's going to be this hash mark that you see here up toward Portland and even into northern Canada. That is eventually going to be ushering in some of that chilly air across the deep south. But let's take you on our forecast modeling. So you have family or friends that live up in the Midwest, let's say. They're like, hey, yeah, it's cold. We're near freezing here. But just wait. Timestamp Thursday into Friday morning. You can see some temperatures in Billings as well as the Dakotas are going to be below zero. And that's just Friday. Just wait until this polar air does continue to dip off to the south. We actually could be seeing about below 5 degrees in Kansas City, single digits in Oklahoma City. Again, this is going to be Monday morning. Looks like the teens in Dallas, and then we're likely going to be seeing temps remain in the 30s and 40s. Now, that's going to be close to afternoon highs, but again, these overnight lows are likely going to be in the 20s around Houston, and as you can see, likely going to be even less the further north you go. So let me take you out to that roller coaster of temperatures that we are seeing. This is going to be Houston area highs over the next several days. We're actually going to be warming up pretty significantly in the 70s tomorrow, as again, afternoon high. And then we're going to be dipping into the 50s Friday into Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be in the mid 60s. But here you go. Let me step out of the way a bit so you can see, again, afternoon highs right here in Houston are forecast to be in the 30s. We are talking about very cold air that it's really not going to be warming up much. Now, this is all thanks again to a front that will be moving through for your MLK holiday, which is on Monday. But you can see that temperatures are not going to be rebounding quickly. Okay, that was highs. Here we are with Houston area lows. So again, a bit of a different, you can see range here. Lows over the next few days, tonight and into tomorrow, are in the 50s. Then as we head into your Friday and Saturday, we're actually going to be in the 30s. But let's talk about early next week. When we said highs are going to remain in the 30s, wake up temperatures as we head into the start of your Monday and even into Tuesday, likely going to be in the 20s. Now, I do want to mention that if we were looking at a map of Houston, some of our northwestern cities and counties, they're going to be much, much cooler than what we are seeing along our coastal zone. So because we have such a large viewing area and folks that live in different types of landscaping, if you're along the water maybe, or you're up and you have a little bit more land around you. But we're talking about a hard freeze is going to be possible. So let's talk about how you can prepare, because that's why we want to bring this to you as early as possible. How can you and your family make sure that you're staying safe? And we know a lot of folks are moving to Houston. They maybe haven't dealt with this before. They're coming from California, from Florida, I mean, wherever it is, and houses are built differently in different regions of the United States. So number one, most important, is you need to wrap those outdoor pipes. Then something that you may not know of is that you need to drain and then turn off your sprinkler system. We know a lot of folks have that. And if you don't know how, I would definitely reach out, maybe have a landscaper or somebody, a neighbor that's been through several of these freezing events, and locate your water shutoff. That's going to be very, very important. Especially if you're planning on leaving town. You don't want to be here for the cold, I get that. But you need to make sure that you do all of these things before you do leave town. And make sure that you have your doors and windows tightly closed. We don't want any drafts getting in, especially on the days that we're only going to be seeing those forecast highs in the 30s. So these are just some tips that we have for you. And actually, I'm going to be live with a plumber tomorrow morning on Houston's Morning Show. And we're going to go through step by step how you can do some of these things that I mentioned. Well, you're new. How do I wrap the outdoor pipes? Do I just grab a blanket and wrap it around and tape it? Do I use the styrofoam that has come out in recent years? And how do I help tightly close those doors and windows? Again, we're going to be giving you plenty of leadway and how that you and your family can stay safe. Let's talk about temps today, though, because it was very chilly this morning, but we're actually going to be warming up pretty nicely. Upper 60s. We are dry, but some breezes do continue, and we're going to be seeing a few high, thin clouds with the potential for some fog as we head into your Thursday morning. But I want to talk about Thursday night into Friday morning. That's when we actually could be seeing some showers moving through. And we're actually monitoring the potential for some strong, if not severe, storms. We're actually looking at our northern viewing area. So from Huntsville to College Station into Livingston. Livingston was the area that was under a tornado-warned storm just earlier this week. But again, this would be late Thursday night into early Friday morning. So we always ask that you have a way of receiving severe weather alerts, and you can do so by downloading the Fox 26 weather app. So if there were any watches, warnings in your neighborhood, you would get alerted so that you and your family could be taking shelter. But I do just want to take you out to a wide view of our 7-day forecast. Rain is, yes, possible with that front moving in for Friday morning, but on the back end, we are blustery and much cooler. I mean, you can see the temperature difference going from the mid 70s Thursday down to highs in the upper 50s Friday. Saturday morning's going to be cold, but then this frigid air does move in with this Monday cold front. Again, rain chances all in all pretty low, but it's about the temperatures. Highs in the 30s and lows, meaning wake up temperatures, will be in the 20s. So do make sure that you and your family are staying safe, and always remember to trust and depend on the Fox 26 weather team. And we're going to continue to bring you the latest updates on air as well as online. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
getting involved in things that it shouldn't be getting into. I mean,